Okay.
All right, so this is Sqweee training on Sunday, April 7th. Can't believe it's April. I leave for Hawaii in 1 week. I'm so excited. Yay! Yay! Okay, so let me go ahead and share my screen. And then the first thing I thought we would do is I would show you the what the party looks like from a consultant's perspective, or I mean from
Okay.
not the consultant perspective, from the guest perspective, so that when I show it to you from a consultant perspective, hopefully that means that it will make more sense. So okay, so can you guys see this? Does it
Yes.
look who's here? Okay. All right, so this is when somebody first logs in to the Sqweee event, okay? And I'll show you how to give out, there's 2 different ways that you can get somebody to a Sqweee event. You can either get them there through a link. I'm gonna close the door really quick. God, I'm on a conference call now and I'm recording. I just want to let you know. Okay. So this is, there's 2 ways you can do it. You can do it through an event link or an event code, and I'll show you both of those. But either way, this is where your guests come into. This is what they see. So it kind of steps them through. It says, now this is on a computer, mind you. It is different on a phone, and you would just have to play with that on your own. The biggest thing is you can take that link that I shared. There's Susan. Hi, Susan. I can't hear you. Unmute yourself. There you go.
It took me a while to figure out where to go.
Okay, sorry. I told Connie, I said I didn't realize that. I thought that I had posted the link to Zoom because I was doing it so quick. And then she's like, I'm into the party. And I'm like, huh, okay. And then she said I joined. I was like, oh, I see what I did. So
yeah, I realized it was a party that you'd already done. Then I realized it was yesterday.
Yeah, it was one I did yesterday. So anyway, we're just getting started. So this is what they look like on a computer. You want to encourage your guests to participate on a computer or like a tablet at the most. The bigger the screen, the better for them, the better experience they're going to have. So I'm going to always do this. I look at you guys on the side. I'm going to try and I can do it from the top. Come on now. There we go. Bottom. Okay, there we go. Okay, so it is a little bit different on a phone. They have to actually click tabs. So it's a little bit more, I don't want to say in a way work on a phone, but it's doable. Okay, so you want to recommend that they watch it on the biggest screen possible. Computer is best. So this is what they look like when they comes in, and the Sqweee is going to step them through where everything is. So first of all, it shows them over here. This is everybody that was in attendance. You can click anybody's name to chat privately. So I can click on, Connie, and then I'm chatting with just Connie. But then if I go click group chat, then everybody's comments are there. Okay. Then the next thing, okay, chatting with others. So this was our group chat from last night. So one of the things I love about Sqweee is that in a Facebook party, when somebody comments on a post, it's only in that post. So if you've moved on to another post, that particular comment has started a discussion or started a conversation or a rabbit trail or whatever, it's only in that post. So then people get lost because they're not seeing the new posts that are coming. So what I love about this is that the group chat is always to the right of their screen. So even on the phone, I think it's always, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to pull it up on my phone real quick so that I've only done it from my phone one time. So that way I can tell you what it looks like differently. So.
Are you Stephanie involved in the Sqweee training or the Sqweee from home office?
No, I'm not. It's
Okay.
on my own. So
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know if you knew that they have a team working on this.
yeah, I did hear that. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Um, they I heard from another consultant that I want to say it's not Usborne. Oh, Norwex. My friends, I was telling her about it. It got her to
Mhm.
the party with me so she could see what it was all about. And she said, "You figure it out." Norwex has negotiated a discount for us, so I need to figure it out. So I'm hoping that if we get enough people on Pampered Chef, that Pampered Chef will do the same thing. And so,
Yeah, yeah. I think they're gonna be working on that. It's really cool. I haven't started doing this yet, but I need to.
yeah, it's so much better. I mean, my part
Just for time management reasons, if nothing else.
that has been the biggest thing is that I can
Yeah.
do it. And okay, so it still steps them through on the computer, but they're all the tabs are on the bottom. So okay, so I'm going to hold this up to my phone. See the tabs on the bottom? So so you see
Yes.
messaging. So if I click over to oops. Um, if I click over to messaging and then I click on group chat, then the group chat shows up in the bottom. But then in this particular post, which we'll get to this, but if they want to see the products in that particular post, they have to click a different tab at the bottom. So there's more work, whereas on the computer, they see it all there. Everything's in the same screen. But in the phone, they actually have to tab those different tabs at the bottom. But anyway, the chat is there, and then navigating through the post so they can see the event post. So right now, this pops up because when you are actively in a party for the actual time period of the party, the event posts are locked in that you only are going to see the posts that I want you to see. And when we've moved on, we've moved on. But as soon as that last slide shows up, like for this one, in for instance, my last slide, once this slide shows up, it unlocks all of the posts. And so anybody at any time until you actually close the event and end it and leave it and all that stuff, which I'll show you that too, they can go back at any time and scroll through the event posts and they can go back. So like last night when I was doing this party, she said, "Oh, I missed the new product video." So she can come back here and click on the new product video slide and she can watch that video again. So they can see anything that they missed at their own leisure, or if anybody was not able to actually come to the party, they can still share the event link and they can still go see the party on their own time. So and it still steps them through just like it did the first time.
Yeah.
And then let's see. Okay. Okay. And then it talks to them about their favorites. So as they go throughout they'll go throughout the different screens. They're in this post, this section right here. You can, like for instance, with this video that they're watching, I put all of these products in this post. So let's just go ahead and get started, and I'll show you. So they're watching this video. Bottom, look at I put every single new product that we have, I put down here. Can you guys see that?
Mm-hmm.
So while they're watching this post, they can be scrolling through all of these, and the same thing, they would just hit the tab in this post on their phone, and then they can just scroll through there, and then they go, "Oh my gosh, I really love this what is that? The oven thing, the chip and dip set." So let's say they really love the chip and dip set. So when they star that becomes their favorite, and then it keeps track of their favorites. And at the end, they can click a tab that says "My Favorites," and all of the products that they're interested in are going to be right there. So they can very easily add to their cart. They can see it pops up, and I say "Add to favorites." So then it'll add it to my favorites. And then if they want their email at the end of the party, they can put their email address in there and it will send them an email with all of their favorites in the email. Isn't that cool?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what they're seeing. So this is basically what it looks like from a guest perspective. And so each product or each slide is different. And then the chat is going on the right-hand side. So you can see it's pretty active, I mean, last night I had 6 or 7. And that was actually that's been about what I have. Lately I've been having between 8 and 10 actually in the party. So, I mean, it's a much better attended than a Facebook party. Usually I'm 1 or 2. So anyway, so that's what that looks like. So now let's look at it from the guest or from the consultant side. Okay, so this is your, sorry, I'm trying to move you guys around. Okay, there we go. Stop. Oh, shoot, okay. Hold on a minute. Does anybody have any questions about that part of it, just initially? And that way I also want to make sure I cover that on the consultant side too, if that's.
Not yet.
Okay. Since I'm sharing, my screen is shared, it's taken me an extra second to get in here. Okay, so this is what's called your dashboard. So if I have a current event, I have a party scheduled that is coming up, that countdown will be right here in this gray box. So it'll say, 3 days, 12 hours, 27 minutes till your next event. And so it'll kind of give you that. These are all the events I have in progress. So like, for instance, this one was one I did a couple weeks ago. I just haven't closed it yet. But I definitely leave them open at least until my host is done gathering orders, so she can always refer her guests back to that event. But I also like to have at least one event in progress so that I can always send somebody who's interested in Sqweee, I can send them to an event link and they can go look. So the fact that it's open doesn't affect my host any. It's on my side. And then this one I just named sample timeline because I wanted somewhere to play with the timeline without actually being an actual event, because I wanted a timeline that I could import, which we'll get to that. So that's why these 3 events are open. But then down here you see my past events. So these are all the events that I've done. So I haven't done a whole lot, but the ones that I've done have been way more successful than my Facebook ones ever were.
That's what I was trying to ask you when my internet went out on me. Does it compare to your Facebook events in show party average?
So I will say that the way that it's compared for me is that every single party has actually qualified. Mm-hmm. I haven't had a failed party yet. So that's number one. I still feel like there's a lot of work that I can do. You weren't on the call. I'm actually kind of taking a step back from my business. And I probably will no longer be a director end of April unless
I'm sorry to hear that
with my team. I've decided to go full-time with Chick-fil-A. And so it's going to become more of a hobby. So because of that, I've invested enough time that I know what I'm doing and I know what I need to be doing, but I don't always do all of those things with every party. So the potential is definitely there. I'm just not doing all that. So even with what I am doing, like I said, every party has qualified, and I feel like the value of my time is better because I'm getting everybody there for 1 hour. I give them the information, they interact. I have a great interaction for that party. Everybody's excited about the products. The host is excited. and then we're done and I move on with my life, and I'm not like tied to this party for a week, you know? I mean, I am, but not in the way of posting and posting and posting and posting, you know?
Yeah.
So,
And having to watch comments all week long and all that too. Even though I use Post My Party, it's still a commitment every single day to go in there and make sure you
because you're still having to respond to comments, and, you know, making sure that if there is no comments, what do I need to be doing, and worrying about whether or not there's content. And honestly, you're just, the fact that everybody is there at the same time, it just lends itself to discussion. You know, everybody's talking about what their dinner looks like, and, you know, just there's things that that I've done with my timeline, like changing it up so that not every slide is the same, and you know, putting a lot of games in there, and the games, they're not all interactive. So, like, for instance, let me just walk through this real quick, and tell you why I did some of the screens that I did. So all at the beginning. Oh, sorry. Event post. There we go. We'll go all the way back to the beginning.
Did you teach the other night how to set all this up?
No, that's what we're doing tonight.
Oh, good.
We just talked about it.
My biggest fear. I know you've got to dig in there and try. But
so this is my welcome page. And I say, so that this is what they see when they log in. I have this screen set to 10 minutes. So it sits there for 10 minutes, but I'm logging in 5 minutes before my party, so that if they're logging in a couple minutes before, there's somebody there waiting for them. So I log in my party's at 7, I log in at 6:55, and then this will stay on the screen until at least 7:05, but I have the power to either hurry or delay a post. So like tonight, my hosts were, the event code that I gave them was not working. And so I had to send the event link to my host and have her send that out to all the friends. So it was almost 8:15 before everybody got on. So I just kept delaying the post until I felt like, you know, the host was there. She was one that was completely late. And then once I felt like a good portion of our party guests were there, then I went ahead and let it go and start it. So you have the power in the moment to stop or hurry or delay a post. So and getting to know you. So it starts the discussion. The next one is the video. So I do my own welcome to my party. So I just do a quick little welcome on Facebook, and so that they get to know who I am, and they have that personal connection from the beginning. And then again, with every one of these posts, I'm trying to do something different. So it's not video, 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 or read a post, read a post, read a post, read a post. It's, you know, in my case, I try to do read a post, video, a game of some kind, read a post, party, game of some kind. So you'll see that. So in this one, I wanted to reiterate what they just saw. So what should you remember about the party? Press play, participate in group chat, start your favorites, chat with everybody, all the above. So it's just reiterating what they've seen in the first two posts. And then I tell them about the party prize drawing. So they call it a badge. Basically, it's just an emoji. So I can go over here and I can give myself, well, I guess you can't do it after. In the moment, so in the actual party, when you click on somebody's name, the little emoji icon shows up. And when you click that, you can give them any emoji you want. And so I tell them that if they were on time, they get a badge. And so that's what I tell my hosts to do in their inviting work, in my words to say in their inviting, is be on time, and you'll get a badge for an extra entry into the drawing. So that encourages people to be on time.
Yeah.
Badge. So my host, I give them a star of some kind, and then their guests that get a badge, it's a different type of fruit. I just put the fruit. So apples, pears, oranges, lemons, watermelon. So that's that one. And then, so then this is the start of the party. So this is the first discussion of, you know, a chat. And so then we talk about what their dinner looks like, and we kind of get that going. You're constantly, if you see the chat going down, you post. You tell your host that she's got to post. Your cat is your life. Okay, if that chat dies, the party dies. So you keep it moving. Your host has got to keep it moving. So then you got to go. So while they're watching the video, I'm asking them, do you think you can see that part, that recipe? What do you think about it? We talk about pressure cookers. What are they scared about with a pressure cooker? What do they like? And then these that at the bottom, like for the pressure cooker one, I actually put, for this one, I tell them to look at the quick fix dinners, like here's some 30-minute meals. And then I took all of those recipe cards and I put them here at the bottom and I linked them to the actual recipe on my website. So they can either star this favorite and they'll get the recipe emailed to them. But also if they click on this, it will take them straight to that recipe on my website too, so they can bookmark it. So I make sure I tell them that in the chat. And then this is a game. And so we talk about what the host's favorites are and they spin it. So we'll spin it. It spins. And we got the wish list, double burner grill. So see how that is? You can set all that up to where it gives you confetti on the screen. It's kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
So when they get a wish list or a favorite at the spinner wheel, I either give them a badge if they don't have a badge, or they get an extra entry into the drawing. So that just helps her see all the things that are her favorite. Another video, we talk about the double burner grill, we talk about meal planning tips, family theme nights, and then we have another game. So this is called Click to Shake. This is actually a bonus. So this, try again. So I tell it, shakes again. And it says free cookbook. So you can see the free cookbook. Hey, we got a free cookbook. There's our confetti. I'll show you when we're on the control panel that you can actually see when everybody has shown all or what they got. You see all that live time. So you can kind of gauge if everybody's done it or not. Then we talked about specials, which I actually had the wrong specials in there. I threw in there, what do you want to do your own Sqweee party? And then we talked about another meal planning tip. And then another video. This was the new product video. So see how they're just all mixed up?
Yeah.
We talked about Roundup from the Heart. And then the Ask Me Anything tab. So one thing you could do if you wanted to with the Roundup from the Heart is that you could make it into a game. So you say which one of these 4 products somehow on this screen you could say in the next slide spin the wheel, and if you get the quick cut paring knives, our Roundup product, you get one if you want. I don't do that because I don't like sending knives through the mail, but but you could say you get an extra entry into the drawing, or whatever. So you can tie this into a game if you wanted to. So the games don't have to just be make the game. You can incorporate the games however you want to. Sometimes the games are just passing along additional information that you want without it being a static slide, because those get kind of boring. Read.
Mm-hmm.
I put in the little recruiting video, and then the next one talks about, which again, I put that in there, I forgot to take it out. And then this has been fun. How do I keep in touch with Stephanie? So again, it's got little checkboxes. And then we do the party prize drawing. And then it's time to shop. So this is a Sqweee slide. So all the other slides I made in Canva, but this is a Sqweee slide. So this is a slide that you just put in there and you tell Sqweee it's the time to shop slide. And so it puts it in there. It shows them all of their favorites. And then there's a link to how to shop. And then they give this, then this is my thank you slide. And there's a shop now and all that stuff. So, and then the very last slide is the one that will always show up when they are, when they come into the party after the party is over. If they've missed the party or whatever, then they come into the party. This is the last slide is always the one they see. And then they just scroll back to the beginning and start the party. So that's where that's the different kinds of posts. So let me go here now. Hold on. Go away. Go away. Dashboard. Oh, did I stop my share? I stopped my share. Sometimes the control panel is not in the best spot.
Stop.
There we go. Okay. Okay, so let's go into April's party, and I will show you what it looks like from the event. So I'm just going to click event in progress, and yes, I want to go to the event in progress. So this takes me back to so this is the consultant side, okay, the control side, the control panel. Come on, computer. Come on. Okay, so you can see kind of, I mean, as it's coming up. Come on. Just give it a second. It does this every now and then. Okay, well, what can I tell you while I'm doing this? While we're waiting on the screen to come back up. There are that I recommend doing on the Sqweee Live. So once you've become a member of Sqweee, you can join their Sqweee Live Facebook group, and there's unit training in there, like in the Facebook group, and it is amazing. The girl that is she's one of the co-founders, but she's also their director of communication, and she's the one that does all the training. She's very, very knowledgeable. Okay, so you can see basically it looks very similar to what your hosts or your guests are seeing. The only difference is that you have this control panel down here. You can see here that you can go back, previous post. So when you're in the middle of here, that ding, that's how it tells you that you're going to move to another slide. So down here you see previous post and next post, so you can see what's coming up next. So if you see that your Party Pros drawing post is next, then you've got, you can take the time to, do your drawing or whatever, and so you're not surprised. But you also know, okay, sometimes I'll say, there's a video, don't forget to press play, and I'll put that in the chat so that they know, oh, here we go, another video coming your way, and then they know that it's about to change, the slide's about to change, and that they need to press play. This is so in the middle of a party, this is where you hurry or delay your post. So it says 1 minute, you can increase that to 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 3 minutes, 1 minute, whatever you need it to be. And you either hurry the post or you can delay the post. So you've got all the timing set up on your timeline when you create the party. And when you're actually in the moment, then you can, like for instance, the other night when I had to wait on the majority of my guests, I was delaying that welcome post until I knew everybody was there, and then I hurried it when I was ready for it to move on. So in that moment, you can it'll make sense when you're actually in the moment. You can say there's a countdown timer, so you know exactly how much time there is before it moves to the next screen. So if you see that it's 2 minutes or 30 seconds away and you still need another minute, then you can just delay it 1 minute and you've got another minute and 30 seconds left on that slide. It's super easy to generate. So that's the biggest thing, is the control panel. I mean, when you're actually in the party, is just watching it, because you're going to see, you're going to see the previous post and the next post. And if you really want to play with it, create a timeline and just create a fake party and just do a party for yourself and just watch it through the control panel one time. Watch your party go through and see how the flow goes. And it's going to feel a little wonky because there's nobody there chatting with you. So you're going to feel like certain slides are there forever. But you have to allow it to, for the discussion. And remember that, if you put 5 minutes on one slide and it's just, you're ready to move on, you can move on. You have that power. So you're not tied into whatever you chose in your timeline. So, any questions about this before I show you how to set up a party? Okay. What do you guys think so far?
So far, it looks pretty good. So your
Okay,
pictures you pulled, all your posts, you pulled those from marketing images?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So here's the big thing. Right here it says leave event. Right here it says end event. You don't want to end the event. Ending the event means nobody can access it anymore. So you're only leaving the event until the party, you've stopped gathering orders and you're ready, you're done the party, it's over, finished, nobody's gathering orders, you've submitted the party to Pampered Chef, and it tells you here, you're about to leave this event, it'll still be open, you can always re-enter it. Your attendees will be able to navigate through. So I'm going to say leave event. End event, it gives you this big warning that says, hey, we're about to end it, close it, nobody's going to be able to access it. And I still did it. I still did it one time, and I had to tweak something. So. Okay, so let's create a new event. And I think by doing this, you'll see all the different pieces and how you put it all together. So, okay, so this is where your event comes in. So I'm just going to give this event title, Sqweee Training Party. Here, you can actually write a description of the event. So I actually have in Evernote the words that I say. So wherever you have that, if it's just a Word document, or if you don't use Evernote or a note, whatever you have electronically that has these words, you can very easily copy and paste. So I came up with the wording ahead of time, and then I just saved, and now I can paste the wording into that event. But you can see that it's active. So you can bold, you can italicize, you can add emojis. You can actually add a link to the party so that they can order. So we'll come over here and we'll go to my tags here. Then we'll search Sqweee. Sorry, okay, let me think what I could say while I'm doing this. Let's waiting. So you have wording there in the description of the event, but then there's also wording for that would help. I'm in the wrong notebook. Okay, so here's my Sqweee. Okay, so I just put this in here, and I just copy this, I paste it into here, and then I see here's the link, and then I put in my host link. Florida Consultants Corner, and I pull up my party. And I go to my show page and find my host link, get from there, and then I paste it over the dash in that area. So you guys know how to do that.
Yeah.
This each page takes a while to load.
Yeah.
Okay. Then down here is where you choose the date. So we can say it's Saturday at 3 p.m. and it gives you a time zone option. So you just pick the time zone that you want. So we're going to say it highlights the area. So, you know, if you're not sure, it'll highlight it. So we'll say we'll say Eastern time. And then you select, and now it says it's Eastern Daylight Time. Then you, over here, you select a business, and I think this is done when you set up your profile. And this is a little wording, like when you select the business, all of this is in your profile. So you can change this at any time. So when you select a business, this populates. Down here is where you can put in the host code. So we can put PC Sqweee 407.
So you make it up yourself?
You can if you want. So I do, just because it gives my hosts a different way to do it. Also, somebody I saw somewhere said that if they post it generally on Facebook, sometimes Facebook thinks it's like somebody just posts on their Facebook page, hey, I'm about to start a virtual party, click the link to join us off Facebook. Sometimes Facebook doesn't like the link. So if they put in there, go to Sqweee.com and put in the event code, you know, PC 407, then they can access it that way. Or there's a full event link that they can access to. So,
Gotcha.
okay. But if you're having trouble with one, you can give them the other, or sometimes it's just easier to tell them. She also pointed out, like, if you're in the grocery store and you're somebody, you can go, hey, go to Sqweee.com. Here's the, write it down on a piece of paper, and here's the party code. And it's easier to write that down and hand it to them on a piece of paper than it is to actually try to find the event link and text it to them, or however you want to do that. So it's just another option. Down here you have, so you have a host page. So I mean, it's up to you. You can either populate this page for my host. I have wording again that my very first host used, and I liked it, so I just kept it. It says, hello, everyone. I'm looking forward to joining you. So you just copy this, the host page. So when they go to this page, this is what when they go to join the party, this is what they see. So we'll call it Kitchen Magicians. Upload a picture. So this is where I upload. You can either upload a picture of your host if you want to, or this is where I usually upload a picture of the type of event I'm doing. So if it's a quick fix dinner or whatever, I just upload some kind of a graphic that goes in that picture. And then down here, that's where I put in join us for an hour of fun. And then oops, I must not have copied this. That's the same thing I just did.
It's okay.
Okay, so it says, feel free to invite a friend, party in your jammies. And then your host sees, so that's what the guest sees when they come to the party, when they're RSVPing. RSVP page. Okay, so let me go back to our am I missing something? Okay, well, I guess I'm going to go back to my dashboard. Okay, so we're going to edit this event. See how now I have the countdown up there because of the event? Okay, so you've got the information there. Now my information is here in my host area, my host code. So now the other two things you're going to add are an RSVP survey and an event timeline. So my survey code right here. So we're going to copy that. We're going to come over here to the RSVP survey. And you can either create a new one, so you can add a question and do your own thing, or you can import a survey. It asks you for the share code. You punch it in, hit search, and it says import survey. So I share with you that code, and just like that, you're going to have a survey in 10 seconds. So, and it's generic. There's no need for you to change it. It doesn't say anything about the host or the party or me or anything. It just asks, you know, have you ever been to a party before? Do you have any products? Do you cook? What do you need mealtime solutions for? I had this in here, but I'm actually started taking it out because I felt like there were too many questions, and I asked them the question anyway, and it's kind of like the door prize slip. You're asking them to marry you before you've had the first date. So I'm going to host a party, and they haven't even seen what the party's like yet. So I felt like that wasn't I didn't want to add that question in. And so so then it says, would you like a reminder text? And so that they can put in their cell phone number, and then I can scroll through all the RSVP responses, and then I schedule a text for 15 minutes before so that they get the reminder text, but I don't have to remember. All right, and then I hit save, so that my my RSVP survey is there. And then this is where I would say obviously the large amount of your work is, but again, super easy. So there is an event timeline, which I can give you the code to my timeline, and you just put in here. So if it's your own timeline, and when you click on here, the little plus sign, you either pick a post, so you can poll question, spin the wheel, shake ball. There's the time to shop. Remember I said that was Sqweee's slide. So there's the Sqweee slide for time to shop, and a video post or a text and image. So you can create the image in Sqweee, but you just have a lot more creativity parameters when you're in Canva or Picmonkey or one of those whatever graphic design program that you like. So I'm going to say import timeline. I'm just going to say, well, I like the timeline I did from April's Quick Fix Dinner Party, so I'm just going to highlight that one. I hit view, which it pulls up all the posts. I'm going to go ahead and import all the posts, because even though these two posts are wrong, this one and this one, wherever it is, I want to remember to change it. So I don't want to take them out because I'm afraid I'll forget to put them back in. So I'm going to go ahead and hit import, because I can change it. I'm just getting the basic timeline in there. And my timeline is posted. So for you guys, I mean, I send you that survey code, and there's a little bit of setup to, you know, from the beginning once you get your account going. But once you do, I mean, you literally could have probably your first party ready and up and going, I would say, in under an hour. That's from setup from the very beginning to I'm ready to do a party. That's how easy it is to set this up. If you've got all these survey codes, they're all shares. I mean, you just share.
So when you do your survey codes, do you name them a certain thing?
No, they just have, now if I had different surveys, yeah, I would want, wherever I'm keeping track of those survey codes, I would want to say RSVP survey, you know, or Quick Fix Dinner party code here. I haven't created any other timelines. You know, I don't have any other codes, but my next one I want to do is Healthy in a Hurry. So
okay.
Say Quick Fix Dinner, and then I would have the code there, Healthy in a Hurry, and then the code there, so that I know which one is which to share. But
Okay.
again, if it's your own timeline, you don't need the code. You just need to remember which party you used, which is why I use the graphic instead of the host picture, so that I remember what kind of party she did, and then I can import the timeline. So then you can see all the timelines. So I'm going to move this back up here. Okay. So, so now you can see all the timelines. So this is all the timelines. The number 4 here means that there are 4 items, products in this post. So remember that in this post tab where they can link and attach their favorites. That's what this is. So for instance, with this one, even though it's just what's your favorite dip, well, I still put in this post what those dips are and link them to my website. So while they're playing around, they can be clicking the links and getting these recipes. You have over here, you have 2 options. You can see view all in this post or view all in this event. So I'm just going to say view all in this post. And you can see that I've got the 4 recipes from the dips here, up here, you know. So now this is where import this timeline. And so I know you're thinking, you're going, well, I can import this timeline, but all this stuff is linking to Stephanie's website, not mine. Okay, here's the cool thing. So you click this little edit button. Let me show you this. At the end of my timeline, or at the end of this link, where's it at? There it is. So everybody's website is set up, pamperchef.com/PWS/ whatever the name of your website is. So, you know, I mark my website as pamperchef.biz/Chef Stephanie. But actually click that and go anywhere on my website, the link actually says pamperchef.com/PWS/Chef Stephanie/ and then whatever. So that Chef Stephanie is what's called my consultant ID. Okay, it's not your 6-digit number, your password ID, your website ID. So Connie, yours is Cooking with Connie, right?
Yes.
So I'll show you where you would put that in. So when you set up your account and you say my consultant ID is Cooking with Connie, anytime it sees that bracket, C-ID bracket, it's going to go to your website, not mine. Isn't that cool?
That's cool.
Very cool.
So I can give you the code to this library. So there's a library, and I'll show you that in just a second. But I can actually give you a code to the entire product library, and every single product. Now I still double check when I'm initially putting a timeline together, but every single product that's in that library has that CID bracketed. So none of them are specific to my website. So you can take that library, you can import, I think it's there's 400 and something products. I don't know if it actually tells me. But anyway, they put that a consultant actually put together the entire product catalog, shared the code. So it saves the rest of us time, hours of time. Okay. It's not coming up quickly. So anyway, so I can put in here, so you can import this code, and as long as your CID is in the right spot, then all of these, when you import them, they're going to go to your website, not mine. Cool?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then the other little icon at the bottom is, of course, the timer, and that tells you how many minutes that slide is set to stay on. So so you can see the 10-minute here. So like I said, I log in at 6:55. This first slide is set to sit there for 10 minutes, 5 minutes ahead of the party and 5 minutes in the front of the party while we're starting. Because that first 5 minutes, even if people are on time, I'm talking to them, hey, do you know your way around? Do you see the chat? Do you see in this post? Do you know to look for that? So what's your favorite dip? And so we're chatting about dips, and then when somebody else walks in, I call it the virtual living room because you want to treat everybody as if they just walked into your living room. So if somebody come on, welcome them. You know, hey, Susie, we're so glad you're here. And then I also do a private chat with them. So I click their name, and then just do a quick little comment and I say, hey, Susie, I'm so glad you joined the party. I'm really looking forward to partying with you tonight. If you need to ask me a question you don't want the whole group to see, feel free to post it here. A private chat between us. And I just post that and I go right back to the group chat. And that's stuff they have, what they call a chat, what's it called? A chat, what's the word? What is it when they give you every single word, the transcript, a chat transcript. So you make your own chat transcript and you have it up like as an extra window. So you just over, copy, paste, done. So you have to type it out every single time. Some of them go so far as to have a chat transcript for every single slide. So this is what I say on this slide. This is what I say on this slide. So far, I've winged it. I've just kind of, played off of what they're talking about. And I know that what I want to say, like, hey, don't forget to press play. Hey, you've got a video coming up. Be sure to tell me which one of the new products is your favorite. I have an idea of what I say to get the conversation going, but I don't specifically have a chat transcript. I don't mind seeing somebody's just so I can get some ideas of what they do. I've heard it talked about, but I haven't done it myself. So let's see. So then you just scroll down here. You can see, 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute is the least amount of time you can have a slide up there.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't go less than that. Sometimes I wish I could, but that's okay. I just keep the conversation going and it goes by pretty fast. Okay, so let's pull up this one because I want you to see the control panel on this one. Okay, so on something like this where it's a game, there's actually 2 different views that show up on your control panel. So you have a tab that says save. Let's do save and preview. Maybe that just shows up in your, I guess that just shows up in your thing. Okay, so this is where you can change it. So you can delete that option, you can add another option, and you can see how it shows up on her wheel. This is how you title it, that sort of thing. And it's actually in the event, a tab down here that says consultant view, attendee view. So when you click attendee view, this is what you see because you're seeing what they're seeing. But when you click consultant view, you actually see, Deb Parker, favorite mini serving spatula. So you know that she spun the wheel and she got favorite mini serving spatula. So then I go over in the chat and I go, congratulations, Deb, you've already got a bag. So you just earned an extra entry into the drawing. And so I reinforce as so they know that I'm seeing what they're doing too. So if somebody won the free cookbook, like for on the shake ball, you can I'll show you what all my options are in the shake ball. So I use the shake ball kind of as a host incentive. Usually somebody wins the free cookbook, but most of the time I only have 1 free cookbook and I can try again. The rest of them are host incentives. So when I click edit here, you can see these are all my shakes. So I have try again. And then what happens when that happens? So you have confetti, no confetti, or shake again. So they shake again. If they get a free cookbook, a $15 bonus, or a $20, they get confetti. So basically, they're going to get try again. I want them to keep drawing until either they win a free cookbook or they get a $15 or $20 host bonus because I want them to have the incentive to host.
Right.
let's see. Videos. Okay, so the time to shop is theirs. And again, this is where I don't think there's any products in this post. Yeah, so I just have a shop now tab in the post. That's where my host's link is to her show page. So when I link up here, it goes, it's the same thing. Put pamperedchef.party/host code. I don't have to change this link for every host. For that, the host event that I created, I just put in her host code that I created in Consultant's Corner. So then every party goes to that link. Now, I would love to be able to link every product to that person's show page, but there is not a way to do that. If you look at the links in somebody's show page, they go to links in, like when you click on shop and you go to shop, it's actually a general pamperedchef.com. I guess what ties it to the show page is on the backside on Pampered Chef. It's part of the link. So if you just go to somebody's show page, click shop and find a product and click that product, it'll just say pamperedchef.com/kitchen paring knife or whatever. It doesn't say pamperedchef.com/PWS/Chef Stephanie/kitchen paring. So because of that, you have to direct everybody to your website and then tell them to shop at the end. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So basically, if you guys wanted to use my timeline, you would create the event. Let's go back. Let's go ahead and save my time. Let's save my progress here. Oh, something else here before I close the timeline. See where it says post length, plus or minus 2 minutes? It says this post starts at 3:55. There is a way for you to pull in a live video into here. So Sqweee uses YouTube Live, and so you can set it up with YouTube Live. You can schedule a live event, and then you have to schedule that live event for the exact time of the post in the event. So let's say that this screen, I think do it on 15-minute increments if I'm not mistaken. So you would want the live slide, which is actually a video post. You would put in a video post, and then you would put in the link to your live, and you would make sure that the post started at 3:45. And then when it goes to that post, it actually makes you live. You have to be live on YouTube. But then when that post is over, it kicks you off. So I tried it one time, it kicked me off, and because I was just going to go live and just talk about a couple things, and something happened, and I haven't tried it since. So just so you know, it's doable, but that's why the post, so it tells you exactly what time that post is going to start. So if you want your party to run from 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock for 1 hour, this post starts at 3:55. Well, this is the time to shop post. And considering the fact that I started at 6:55 or at 2:55 because I started 5 minutes early, I'm actually only at about 50 minutes right now. So I can go a few more minutes if we wanted it to be an hour. It's totally up to you. But that would be,
if you share your party timeline code with us, how do we change the video to be us and not yours?
You would just delete that. So over here on the right hand side, I'll go my video. So you would come over here, you would highlight that post. You can also move these little 6 dots right here means that you can move this around. So if you want to change the order of the timeline, then you can do that. So now it's first instead of second.
Mhm.
Okay, so there's 2 ways you can do it. You can either just click change video, and when you click that link or click that, it will come up with a new video link, and you just put in the video link to your YouTube and you hit look up, and it will find your YouTube video, and then you say, okay, and then you say use video.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah. Or if you want to do something completely different and put in a new, like maybe you want to add a game. You want to do an extra game, or where I have a poll question, you want to do a spin the wheel. You just put in your own thing. You just click spin the wheel, and it puts in your slide, and then you do what you want with it. You can change the colors. You can, change your options, all that stuff. It's still thinking. Yeah, there we go. So now you've got a spin to win, and so then you just hit the edit button. Gives you options, and you can change the colors and all sorts of stuff.
Okay, that looks pretty easy.
Mm-hmm. And then if you want to take delete a slide, you just come here and say delete post, and it brings up the whole timeline, and you can delete, delete, and then you say delete selected posts.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm working a timeline, I usually delete them one at a time unless I know I'm not going to use them. But if I want to use the idea of it, but I want to change it to myself, I'll leave it until I actually create that post so that I don't forget that I wanted to have that post. So, okay, so let's go over to the account. Well, actually, let's go back to dashboard. I think one of those things is in. So let's close the timeline. I'll get you the timeline code for the right one. That was our play one, so don't want that one. Okay, so your host info here is where your host code goes. So right below where you pick Pampered Chef, in the host code, that's where you're going to put the host code that goes to her show page. So like my host code was, April 405. So it's pamperedchef.com/party/April 405. So you want to put in April 405 right there. And now that time to shop will go to her show page. That's the host code. The consultant code is going to be in your profile. So you go to account and then profile. So when you're actually setting up your account, this is where you're going to put in your consultant ID. Libraries, plural, because their goal is to create other libraries. Like I think they're going to have eventually maybe some timeline libraries, and all, but right now they just have a product library. So one, but that's coming. If you run more than one business, that's why you can add a business. So, if you're a Norwex and Color Street, you could do Sqweee for both and have one business, one timeline for, or one stuff for, Sqweee and one, whatever. So this is where your consultant ID. So right here's, okay, so you've got add a business. So Chef, so remember when we chose Pampered Chef as the business and all this populated, this is You're going to populate that information so that it'll show up basically as your introduction to you as a consultant. And then below that, it says consultant ID. And that's where I put in your websites. That's where you would put in Cooking with Connie. It's where you would, Susan, put in whatever your tag is on your website, Deb, whatever your website is. So that once that is there, then when you import that timeline, that entire product library is now going to go to your website, not mine. Cool?
Very cool.
Very cool. Yeah. And then this is your monthly plan. So you can see your payment history and your referral codes. And now I've got Deb Parker as a pending referral. Get credit for that and all that. So, okay. So then you go to library. So when you set up your products for the first time, you click product library. And I can give you the code for this one, I'm pretty sure. It comes up. Come on. Maybe it needs to be on the dashboard. See, now I've got my countdown right here.
Mm-hmm.
I said my next party was Saturday, so now I've got a countdown. Come on. Why are you not coming up? All right, I'm going to stop the share real quick. Because sometimes I don't think it likes the share. It's thinking. Okay, so while this is coming up, what questions do you guys have?
So are the slides, are they created outside of the nicer looking ones and not the survey ones, but the...
I do because I feel like I have more creative license when I create them I use Canva.
Uh-huh.
But you don't have to. Sqweee is pretty basic, no real. It's like, here's your background, here's your,
Yeah.
one on the left, one on the right. I mean, you can do a whole lot more when you're outside of.
Yeah, so you use Canva with the white brick background and then pulled your stuff in. That looks really good.
So the white brick background is actually, you have to pay for it, but it's like $1. But I figured out that if you, so the other cool thing, well, I'll show you that real quick. I'll show you that in Canva just a second because it'll make sense if you're actually looking. So let me go to product library really quick, show you this. Okay, so this is the product library. So in order to, let's see. So you can see all the stuff, all my, where is my product library? Okay, where is my
You looking for the code?
share? Yeah. Select all, share. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys see that? It's P-M as in mom, the number 2, KH953. Okay, so when you go into your library, when you get signed up on Sqweee, you go to libraries and everything under there is products, then you click add or import, and then it'll have that, it says share code, and you just type the share code in there and you hit import, and every one of those 415 products are going to show up in your product library. It's the most beautiful thing about Sqweee. because that's hours of work. I would say probably easily 8 to 10 hours of work. But it just saves you because you got this little wonderful little 7-digit code.
And the link will automatically have our ID if we've put it into the first page on dashboard.
Yeah, because every one of these products is loaded in as C-ID. So it doesn't have chef's anywhere in any of the links. So it has that C-ID. So as long as in that consultant ID section, you have your Deb ending website, then when you click in there, and you can test it, but when you click in there, it should go to your website and not mine.
Okay.
Yep. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm going to stop share real quick. Have you guys ever used, can't minimize. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Have you guys ever used Canva before?
No.
Okay. It's like $13. I think I paid $13 a month. But you guys, I love Canva. I love it. I use it all the time. Even as a very part-time consultant, I'm keeping it because I do my invitations in Canva. I do my timelines in Canva. I do all sorts of stuff in Canva. And so it is absolutely worth it. And it's just as easy to do it from your phone as it is from your website. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and hit share because I think this is a bonus. I was going to do Canva training and then I never got around to it. So this is like a mini bonus here. So this is when you log in, this is what it looks like. When you click on all your designs, if my screen will come back. Then it shows all your designs. I can share the link to the timeline so that you can import that. You can go to Canva and you can import that and you can save it and it's now yours. Come on, come back to me. Come back to me. There we go. It's so funny, Susan, the way that you're sitting, I guess, in your lighting, I can tell when the screen came back on your side because your face lit up. See the glare? Okay, so we click all your designs and you can see everything that I've done in Canva. So you can do an Instagram post. The hardest thing is trying to figure out what size post to do, but I mean, you kind of whittle your way through. Okay, so what I figured out is that I think, hang on, let me go down. I guess I have one called, I thought I had one called Sqweee template. Okay, I'm not that far down. Oh, there it is, Sqweee template. So I figured out that if I kept, so I'm opening up this one. It says, you see where it says 1 of 4? I figured out that when I buy the background for a file, that I only have to pay for it once if I stay in that file. So you can add pages to Canva. So if you wanted to create your own template, once you got kind of familiar with Sqweee and you wanted to put your own look on it, that's actually what I did. There are plenty of Sqweee templates that are out there in PC Squeeters in that Facebook group. But after watching some of the training in the Sqweet Life, I didn't like the way some of their timelines were, and I wanted to change it. And the only way I could change it was to make it all my own, because I kind of ideas, but I had to do my own look, because otherwise my look clashed with their look. So that's how that came about. So you can see here, I've got one slide here, and then the next slide, and the next slide, and the next slide. So you just hit add new page, and when I click add new page, it comes up with that background. But if I were to do a file, make a copy, then I'd have to pay for this all over. I could say make a copy and it'll copy my Sqweee template, but then I have to pay for it again.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I spent like $10 before I realized that was the case. So, but still, it's like $1 a piece. So, and you can buy credits, you can buy bulk credits. So it's a little bit cheaper, but it's still not that bad. It was just, I liked the look of the brick because
I like that too.
It's some texture in the quote unquote texture in the background without away from what I was trying to say. And so for me, it was worth it to pay a little bit for a premium image. So
yeah,
got, when you click on elements, you've got a whole bunch of templates here, but when you click on elements, that's where all your photos and graphics and all that stuff. So I can put in here fire, and anything and everything that has fire in it is going to come up. And it'll tell you if it's free or if it spends money. So that's the other thing I like about it, is that, I can go out into Google Images and find an image, but I could also be copyright infringement too, because it may not be, the image may be out there, but technically may not be allowed to use it. So by using only the images that are in Canva, I know I'm safe, because I'm either Canva is giving me permission to use it or I'm paying for permission to use it. So that's another reason why I like Canva, is I feel like I have just as much, if not more, options for images, but I know that I'm safe to use them. So, and you can play with backgrounds. There's all sorts of backgrounds. All you have to do is click upload, and all of your, so this marketing imagery, it uploads here. So I just upload whatever I want, and I just position it over here. So I can say, my customers, and I just drag it. And then I can twist it, or, my customers, and then I can move it around. And then I can add text, and just click over here, hit text. And you can either, again, do a template. They got all sorts of templates, or you can just say add a heading. And then the other thing I like is there are tons of fonts, and some are really fun. Going down here and just scroll. I'm scrolling, I'm still in the A's. There literally is hundreds of fonts. So here, and Queenie, I like Queenie. Say, join me on Facebook for recipe ideas. And just like that, you've got a slide. So cool. That was your freebie.
So do you just to import that into timeline, the Sqweee timeline? Do you do it a snippet of it, or or you save it as a picture?
You mean, okay, yeah. So I know what you're asking. So then when you go to download it, so there is there's a size, I think it's 1600 by 1600, and that is the size of a slide. I think it's in PC Sqweeters. I think they have that as part of the announcements.
Okay.
So that information's in there. But so that when you download this, you can upload it. So you hit share. You can either hit share, and that's where you get your little link to share it with somebody else, or you hit download, and you can when you're doing it for a Sqweee slide, it has to be downloaded as a JPEG. Because
okay, that's what I was wondering. Yeah.
Upload JPEGs to Sqweee. Then I just save it as a JPEG, and then it tells you, for in this case, because I have 6 pages in this particular file, it asks me if I want to save all the pages or just a certain. So I've got all these others here. So I can hit just page 6, then I hit download, and then it'll download it as a JPEG. And then I just,
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
I've got a file that says Sqweee slides or Sqweee party event posts or something like that. And so every one that I download, I just save it in that file, and then you just go to Sqweee and upload it. So, yep. All right, other questions?
I'm good. I appreciate you taking the time to do this.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Now, my question is, where do you, like, upload your template?
So when you, the whole timeline?
Yes.
Okay, so when you,
in the timeline section?
yeah, so when you actually create the event and you click edit my timeline, then there's a little plus sign on the left-hand side, and that's where you import just one post if you want to create the timeline yourself, or at the same time, there's a box that says share code, and you just put in the share code for that timeline.
Okay.
It will automatically populate.
Yeah.
Other thing I forgot to show you was,
And like Stephanie said, there is a Facebook group for this. And
yes, there's 2 Facebook groups. One of them is PC Sqweeters, which is, I can add you to it. It is just for Pampered Chef Sqweee people.
I think that might be the one I'm in.
Okay. And then once you are a member, like you are a paying participant with Sqweee, then you can ask to be a part of the Sqweet Life. And that is Sqwee's Facebook group for all consultants that are on Sqweee. So it's a mixture of Norwex and Color Street, Norwex, Usborne, and Us, I think, are the 3 big ones that use Sqweee. There's a few others in there too. And that's where you have all that training. So,
Okay, so I signed up for the free trial today, so I have 2
Good.
weeks. So I can basically set everything up, and I can start putting posts and stuff
Yeah.
in there
Yep.
as a free trial, right?
yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Now, if I don't pay for it, then anything in the library will go away.
The
I'm assuming.
thing you've done will go away. Yes.
Right. Okay. So I need to make sure that I'm going
Yeah,
to
you would,
go
yeah.
ahead and sign up.
I would jump when you do your trial, jump on it,
Mhm.
and then within, I would say 24 hours, start, creating a party maybe for Wednesday or Thursday this week.
Okay.
Just get a bunch of your closest friends to come together and be your, don't say guinea pig, but basically be
Right.
your pigs. Say, hey, do you want to be a part of my inaugural or my launch of my new virtual party platform? I'm so excited to show this to everybody. But I want my closest friends to be among the privileged first people. Make it a special thing.
Right. Okay.
And that way, and then do something that's really going to highlight the new products or something they haven't seen before.
Right.
But then that way,
Well, I was thinking about doing something along the new spring line because I haven't done anything
yeah,
with the spring
yeah,
line.
absolutely, yep.
So,
Yeah.
Okay. So now I'm gonna share again here real quick. Almost done.
So if we take your timeline and say maybe we want to share, maybe add a couple of slides or whatever, is that really hard to do? Or you just add a slide and it's that easy?
Yeah. I mean, you just add a slide wherever you want to add a slide, and if you want to take one of my, the things that I have, the little check the poll question, and make it into a spinner question, you can do that too. So however,
Okay.
once it's in your timeline, once it's in your event, it's your timeline. You can change it however you want to. It's not going to affect me. Okay, the other thing is these 3 little buttons here. So let's say, okay, so this event hasn't started yet. So you see here that says start this event now.
Yes.
First of all, obviously you don't want to click that till the actual 5 minutes before your event. Okay, because that actually starts the event and then you'd have to start all over. So in order to go back into your event to continue working on your timeline or tweak anything, you click on those 3 little dots that are on the right-hand side. You just click that and you get this little shortcut menu. So edit event is where you're going to actually go in. It takes you back into the event where you can change your timeline. Okay, so the event is where you're going to go to change your timeline. Edit host info is going to take you to that host page where you can change the host stuff. If you click copy host page link and then you send that to your host, she can actually go in. She can upload her own picture. She can put her own tweaking wording in if you want her to. You can totally invite her to be a part of that if you want to. And then here's where you quickly copy event code, copy event link. So if you're texting it to somebody, you can quickly pull this up on your phone. You cannot edit an event on your phone. That's probably the biggest thing. Remember, Connie, I was telling you there's certain limitations. That's the only one I think that I found so far is that I can't change the timeline on my phone. So a couple times I'm like, I just need to change that real quick and I'm not in front of a computer. But that's anything else I think you can pretty much do. You can view event info all there. You just can't change anything on your phone.
Okay.
A tablet where you have access to a full browser. And then you go here to edit event. Oh man, that would take you back. That's not what I meant to do. That's not what I wanted to do.
Now you said if you're going to make your host live, that means she's able to do the chats as well, or could she do that anyway?
She could do that anyway. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
The host page link just gives her access to this page, this
Okay.
host page, so that she can make it her own if she wants.
Okay.
So yeah. Back to dashboard. Oh, you can see the edit event took you back to that main everything that you're changing on the event. So that's where if you've got to put the host code in, that's where you go back to fix the host code. When you click, okay, so let me do it on this one here because there's nothing in here. So if I click, so obviously I can't edit the event anymore because it's taken place. So that's grayed out. If I click view event info, this is where all of the information is there from my event. You see all the people that have attended. You see email addresses that I have. This one says that Stephanie, this means that she filled out a survey. So if I click on that, it takes me to Stephanie, this particular guest, gives me her email, and then the individual RSVP responses. So this is her answers to my RSVP survey. And then these are all of the answers in the individual event. So she didn't participate in that one, but she got the wish list double burner grill. So she earned an extra badge. She got the free book on the shake to win. What did you think about the new way to Sqweee? She didn't answer that one. And then she said, sign me up for emails distributed by our home office. So I can come back in here to the event at any time after the event's over, and I can see. So like signing people up on my text service or signing them up for emails. That's all stuff I can do later. I don't have to remember in the moment in the party what they said. I can always come back to that later. And then it's going to show if we had a private chat, it's going to show the transcript of that chat right here. And then now this is all of her favorites. So this is everything that she tagged as her favorite.
Wow. Did you give us a booking? I saw a $290 item.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Not yet, but I'm working on it.
Yeah, you're there.
She really wanted that batter dispenser too. So,
Yeah.
Now, when you set the show up, you still set it up under PC and you put the guests in,
Yeah.
or do you wait until after they order to let them do that themselves?
Yeah, I don't ever put the guests in. I mean, if your host wants to do that, that's fine, but I don't take the time.
Okay. Okay.
That's that, and then you just click through. So 11 to 13. That's the this is the transcript of the chat log. So you've got the whole so you can go back and go, what did she say, or who was it that said that? You can see your whole group chat log here. And then this is all the people. This is your attendee list. So you can see all the people who attended. You can see, okay, April Morgan's got a favorites list. Jenny Trahan had a favorites list. So we could go here to the Trahans and
I know them.
you do?
My husband works for them.
Really?
Yes.
Yep, they go to our
Yes,
church.
Yeah, he's he picks up for them.
Oh, okay.
Small
Okay.
world.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, the host of this was our former pastors. One of our pastors, our discipleship pastor, his wife was the one that hosted this party. They just moved to Georgia, so most of my event were people that were from my church. So, so anyway, but yeah, so you've got a favorite, Jenny, tagged on here that she liked the chef's tongs. So, got all that information there. There's your timeline code if you want to copy that down. And there's the RSVP survey code. So I'll leave those up there a second if you want to write those down.
Okay.
The timeline code is T as in Tom, dash N as in Nancy. That's a 0 and then an O, U, L, P as in Paul, N as in Nancy. And then your RSVP survey code is R dash N as in Nancy. That's a 0 and then MXQAX.
Well, I'm going to run, but thank you so much. I haven't even did 8 today, so.
Oh, girl.
Right.
What did you ask me about? Was it about timeline or was it about Canva? What did something you asked me about Canva? I was going to show you.
You answered it. You answered it. It was about saving the Canva that you created as a JPEG.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that answered it for me.
Somebody asked me what I was going to do. Let me show you this really quick. So this is the Sqweee Life.
That's the one I am not in, but I just requested that one.
Okay. So yeah, so this is the Sqweee Life, and you can see here where it says learning. You click on learning, and it takes you to all of their units. And then you can go down here and you can, you've got a getting started unit, live trainings and direct sales tips, PIPS tips, helpful hints. So you've got all of these units that you can watch that give you these really awesome. So this live trainings and direct sales tips is the one that's amazing. Boosting engagement with games.
Okay.
Talked about why you use different games, that you don't have to do a game just to do a game. You can use it as an informational purpose. Building a timeline that draws people in was really good. And that one, the chat tips for private chat and group chat, that was good. It was basically her just, saying you have to keep the chat going, but she had some good tips. So I would say definitely building a timeline after you've done a few, after you want to make your own.
Mm-hmm.
Because I will say that my timeline that I'm sharing with you is based off of her tips in here. So I feel like you can be pretty confident that you're doing a pretty good timeline from the beginning. I'm not saying the timeline is perfect, but
my jump start.
Recommendations. What's that?
I said we're getting a jump start.
Yeah. But how to get more bookings, boosting engagement with games, because there's also ways that you can follow up with games too. Like she had it's all about the biggest thing that you want to, here's what I'll leave you with. The biggest thing that you have to remember with your hosts and with your guests is Sqweee is a 100% more personal platform than Facebook. All about the relationships that you're creating on Sqweee. And you've got your hosts, your hosts want to create a Facebook event in order to just blast it to 100 people. Okay, well, I don't recommend it because then you're making people think it's on Facebook and it's really not. But biggest thing is you've got to go back and go, well, if you want to post it on your timeline, you know, the day before, but you really need to be texting and messaging people one-on-one, because this is a personal timeline. You know, this is a personal event. So that's the biggest thing you've got to remember with your hosts when you're coaching them throughout the week. And then when you're in that party, it's creating those relationships. If you've got somebody's text or email ahead of time through the RSVP survey, go ahead and text them and say, hey, thanks so much for completing the survey. I can't wait for you to be at the party on Sunday. If you have any questions, if you're window shopping, let me know, you know, and just start that conversation with them. So that's my biggest recommendation with this is it's all about the relationships and the follow-up and all that. So.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going to go eat.
All right,
Yeah,
sounds
we'll be
good.
good.
It's going to all turn to fat this late at night.
Bye.
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 Thanks.
Thank you, Stephanie.
You're welcome. Do you guys have any other questions?
I
I
don't
do
think
have
so.
one
I'm going to start
question.
playing with it
Okay.
next couple of days.
Okay. Sounds good. Let me know if you need any help.
Okay.
Bye. Yes, ma'am. Ms. Thompson.
Bye.
All right, so my question, all right, I have created an event. I have downloaded the timeline
Okay.
using your code.
Mhm.
Once I have that in here, I'm not able to actually edit the post itself.
Right. Yes.
For instance, like your next to last post says, thanks for a fun party. It's got your cell phone number.
Yes.
I can't go in and edit that, can I?
Correct. That's correct. Yeah. So you would either have to create your own somehow, or I'm more than happy if you want to play in Canva. Or I can actually change it for you too. I can create one for you. I don't mind doing that. It's probably quicker for me to do that than to try and get you set up on Canva. Let's see here. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and stop recording.